Hi there. This is going to be the 4 best questions that you can ask an ESL employer. So if you're looking for a job and you want to go abroad and you teach and you want to get a good job, and maybe you're concerned a little bit, you've heard some stories, you read some things online about bad jobs and people having bad experiences. Okay, these questions right here, these 4 questions right here will help you get a good job. Okay, so I'm going to start with the least important. I'm going to start with number 4, and we're going to save the best for last. All right. Okay, so question number 4 is ask the school, ask the employer, what materials do you use? Okay, so why is this important? It's important because you need materials to teach, and if you don't have materials to teach, then you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of time, preparing for class and whatnot. So having good materials to work with, student books, workbooks, or storybooks, plenty of materials to work with is gonna save you time and make your job easier. And if you don't have, I've worked in quite a few different schools, and a lot of private schools, and a few of them sometimes didn't have books. It's, okay, just you teach English, and you got to spend time. You got to find materials to work with, and it's a hassle. But a good school is going to have a curriculum in place, and books to work with, materials to work with, that sort of thing. And that's going to save you time and make your job easier. Okay? So ask them about what kind of materials they have, or what kind of materials do they use, and that sort of thing. And you can go look them up online. If they tell you the name and you're not familiar with these kind of things, you can look them up online, or just find out basically if they have some materials to work with. In some cases, it's good to look them up online, because in some cases you may find out that these books are no good, and in that case you still gotta, just because they have books doesn't necessarily mean that they're good books or not, and you'll still maybe have to come up with stuff for class and stuff. So having good books, good materials to work with will save you time, and make your job easier. Okay, question number 3. Ask the school how many teachers are on their 2nd or 3rd contract. So when you're interviewing with the school, ask them that question. Okay, so why is that important? Because basically it's like this. If people tend to stick around at the good jobs, so if it's a good job, then people are going to stay in that job, right? But if it's not a good job, then there's going to be a lot of turnover. There's going to be a lot of turnover. So that's why you want to find out, hey, are there how long have people worked in the school? How long have the teachers been there? Are there any teachers on their 2nd or 3rd contract? Ask them that. Foreign teachers too, you might want to specify that, because there could be teachers on their 2nd or 3rd contract, but they may be whatever it is, Chinese or Japanese or whatever. They work in the school, but they're not foreign teachers. A little bit different. Okay, it's a different matter. Okay, question number 2. Ask them for photos of the housing. Now this is gonna apply, only if you're, getting a job outside the country and they're arranging the housing for you. Some countries like Korea, sometimes in the Middle East, China sometimes. Basically, there's sometimes that they will get the housing for you and provide you with the housing. So in that case, ask them for pictures of the housing. Okay. Now, why do you want to do that? Because you want to do that because you want to find out where you're going to be living, right? And some teachers, if you read online and stuff, some teachers have, they get really poor housing. Maybe water doesn't work, or water's cold, or Geez, what else? You know, it's small, it's dirty, there's no heat or something like that. So ask for pictures. That will help you visually, at least. Okay? Okay, for number 1. Now this is the single most important question that you can ask. And if you get this question, you can find this out. You can also find out, you can get answers to all the other questions that I already mentioned. Okay? So the number 1, I'd say most important question to ask an employer if you're looking for a job is to speak with other teachers. Okay? So other teachers that work there and other teachers who have worked there. So I would say ask for 2 to 3 references, basically. You don't want a written reference, of course. Basically what you want is an email, emails, or phone numbers. Phone numbers are really the best, but an email is a starter, and you send them an email, you can get you know, some more information from them, or get their phone number, that kind of thing. You know. So why is this important? I mean, basically you can find out pretty much everything you really want to know about the school, and basically transparency is a good sign. If the school gives you that, then you know it doesn't hesitate to give you those things. Then you know they're being transparent, and that's a good sign. You know. But if they're like, no, sorry, we can't do that, we'll ask them why not. You know. And yeah, why not? You know, I think that in that sense, it could be that they're hiding something. You know, it could be. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You know, it could be that there's a chance that it could still be a decent job just because they wouldn't do that. But you're taking a risk. You know. Whereas if you can talk to teachers who work in there, you know, work in the school, you can find out all kinds of information. You know, you can find out about the housing, you find out about the work environment, you find out when you get paid. You can ask the employer that too as well, right? So you can get a lot of information by asking that question. So that's number 1. Will all schools give you that information? No, I don't think all schools will give you that information, but all schools aren't good schools. Some might have a system in place where they just say, well, we don't do that kind of thing. I'd say ask. You got to ask that, and if you get that information, I mean that's a good sign. That's a good start. That's going to really help you out, you know. And if school just gives you that, they're being transparent. It's a good sign. You know, you can find out, and you want to get 2 to 3, right? I said 2 to 3 references. You can always start with 1, you know, 1 teacher. You can get, you know, start talking with 1 teacher and ask them about other teachers who work there. You know, ask them about their experience, of course, but about the other teachers too. Like, do you have another teacher's email or something like that? Because in most cases, they've been in your shoes, so they know what it's like when you're, you know, starting a new job and you don't know anything about it. So that's why it's important. Also, try to get a reference from a past teacher. Why would you want to do that? Because you know, there's some stories out there. Some teachers get fired at the end of their contract, and maybe like in Korea, they don't get their, you know, their severance pay, or they won't get a ticket home. You know, the percentage of these stories is actually pretty low. It doesn't happen, you know, often, of course, but you know, things like that can happen. So this is a, you know, a good reason why you want to get, you know, a reference from a past teacher. You know, so I mean, you could ask the school up front, can I have 2 to 3 references? Or you can just start with 1, talk to a teacher, and then, you know, get more contacts from them, you know, because they'll understand. So, anyways, what else? Yeah, just basically, I'd say that, you know, you're taking a chance if you don't get if the school won't give you that information, you're taking a chance. It doesn't guarantee that the school's a bad school, but, you know, transparency is a good sign. You know, that'll make you feel better. Say, oh sure, you know, let you talk to the teachers. That's what you want. You know. So, anyways, okay, that's the single most important question to ask if you're looking for a job. Ask to talk to the teachers who work there and who have worked there. You know, get their emails, get their contacts, talk to them on the phone, and that's the best thing you can do. You can ask all kinds of questions and get answers to them. Okay?